Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Light Talk. So you probably already know who we are and what we do. So without further ado, in today's episode, we are going to talk about so the first question of the day, how is it like for you guys to be a professional photographer? So, Xing Jie, being a professional photographer for, a few years, right? How has it been for you so far in Singapore?
So far the journey has been great. Not much complaints. But I would want to say that being a photographer, although your role is photographer, most of the time you're not taking photos. That's a big misconception I want to clear up. So, 20% of the time you're taking photos, 20% you're editing, 50% is more client management and getting more sales, and 10% is probably your own self-marketing. I hope it adds up to 100. Yeah, it does. So yeah, so basically that's about it.
So what's your working hours like, as a professional photographer, currently?
There's always a joke going around. The reason why I chose this route is because I don't want a corporate 9 to 5. So I chose a freelancer / your own company kind of mentality. Now you work 24/7. So actually it's something I'm trying to manage recently, trying to take more breaks. But then basically every time I'm awake is technically working.
So it's kind of like a suka 爱走就走 lah. Like when you want to do, then you do, then you don't want to do, then it's kind of relaxed for you.
More like I think this CB period has helped us to remind ourselves that we do need breaks as well. So yes, it although affected our business, but it's a good break. And I think more than everyone in the industry so far is very well recharged and ready to service better clients in the near future.
So what about Benny? Even as a Lao Jiao over here, how has your life as a professional photographer been like so far?
I guess the term professional photographer, I think you have to take precedence to being professional. The word professional comes first. So I think when you are in the eyes of your client, they always have expectations. So I think the number one thing for me when it comes to professional photography is to manage them. I guess this area is also very gray because when they expect something, sometimes the problem is they don't say what they mean and they don't mean what they say. So part of the thing we have to do is to read between the lines, trying to listen to them. I said the word listen because we just can't hear what they say, because that sometimes don't make sense to us when they say, oh, whatever you just said, but you don't mean that actually. So when we shoot, we always have problem. So I think the shooting part, I would say, becomes easy for us because we know our craft, we know our stuff. But I think managing them, it's the part that is challenging because like what I said, we have to read between the lines.
So same thing, right? So if I've asked you, right, how much time do you actually spend, working as a photographer, on a week? So how long do you think you spend usually?
Okay, that I really want to emphasize, because very much of our work that we put in, if Xing Jie were to agree with me, it's not on the shoot itself. Like, for example, we have certain discipline to follow. Like, for example, if you're going to do an intensive shoot the next day, no going out with friends, no drinking, never eat like overnight food in case you have diarrhea. So these are the things that we need to do prior to the shoot. Charging our batteries, communicating with our clients, back and forth, the preparation work. You see, and that's the thing. And customers don't see this as cost to us, but it actually taking up our time, and it's really a cost to us because we are already starting to work before the actual project starts. And that, let alone the post editing and all that. And also back to your question about working hours ourselves, and Xing Jie probably answered the question. We don't have a fixed time. We don't work from 9 to 5, but we work 24/7. It's up to us to choose which part of the time of the day or night we choose to work, because I think we photographers have this flip of biological clock where we are more active at night. I think that's very, very true. if other photographers were to resonate with me, will work better at night because we have less disturbances. So that's how our working hours are like.
Yeah. So actually, when it's not going back to the topic about behind the scenes. So let's say you guys are photographers, right? Are there any kind of hidden perks, being a photographer? Like you get the free access to the back of stage, or get more discounts to products, or let's say freebies.
Oh yes, I do have. Sometimes like when I photograph very good food, sometimes it's a privilege that you get to eat it after, and provided the food is still fresh. So that's one of them. And I think one of the memorable ones for me is actually VIP access to race car drivers for one of the assignments I did for F1, when they are not in the limelight, and when you meet them as a person, where you feel like those superstar drivers at a more personal level. I think that it's I don't think I'm in that status to meet them, because I think those who actually get to meet them are the rich and famous, and like F1 is actually funded by a lot of sponsors and all that. So I think I'm just privileged, being a photographer, to have once in a while a taste of such things. Yeah.
So you get like free entry to any VIP lounge to when you do your F1 shoot.
Yeah, it's not all the time, but during the time, yeah, one of the things is that we even get a tour to the thing where all the engineers work. It's just so amazing, like the technical or the logistics for F1. A car comes in the next 5 to 10 seconds, the whole car gets stripped apart, and at the back end, with all the computers, the data are running all the parts that will fail, and they assemble the car. It's extreme clockwork, and that in such a thing, if you are in a craft itself and you will see such things happening, there is a million things that's happening behind the scenes that we don't see. And I think having to actually experience that, it is just so amazing. There's so much work.
What about Xing Jie? What are the hidden perks, so far in your career that you have experienced as a photographer?
You make it sound as if we are superstars. Thank you, but I feel
possible.
I feel that maybe the most memorable will be when the first few years I started out, where I did any and every kind of job. So one job led to another, and I was very fortunate to start photographing concerts.
Oh.
So I covered concerts like Jay Chou's concert. I've covered Coldplay. I've covered U2. So all these famous bands that come to Singapore will probably I'll be given an opportunity to cover. And one of my most memorable was Jay Chou's concert. I'm very thankful to the team that has reached out to me. So I was very fortunate to meet him as well as because he's one of my idols growing up, right, Jay Chou. But you get to meet all these cool celebrities like what Benny mentioned, and they are very down to earth. They're very humble and they're very nice. Like it's a different persona that you see online. Probably something more unique to me was I also covered WTA, which is a Women's Tennis Association, where I get to meet like super famous people. Like if you're into tennis, Billie Jean King, Naomi Osaka, Serena Williams. So it was very humbling to actually have a conversation with them, or just small talk even. So maybe these are the perks that you will get. But of course, we would always try to maintain a professional relationship with them. Like maybe no personal photos unless they ask, or like certain things. There are certain boundaries that you cannot cross. I feel.
So when we talk about at the same time, these kind of perks, right? I think really, right, these are the small little cheap thrills, I guess. It comes with the shoot and photographs and stuff. Yeah. But on top of that, like what y'all mentioned, photography is really, really very, tough industry. I mean, you really need a lot of devotion, a lot of commitments, and build a lot of trust with your clients out there. Yeah. So thank you guys, for sharing so much stuff to with our audience over here. I think it is time now. Ding ding ding. It is bell has rung, and it is time now for our POTD. So likewise, I think in the previous episode you have already seen it. It is another segment where we will be reviewing some of the photographs they are actually submitted by our viewers. So if any viewers out there, you are interested to have your photographs reviewed by either of us, either Benny, Xing Jie, or even myself as a look photographer, feel free to hashtag us on Instagram, hashtag Montage21 Like Talk, and stand a chance to be featured on our video. So without further ado, for today's photograph of the day, we are going to talk about a woman wearing a winter jacket at the beach. So, right, when I look at this photograph, the first thing that actually came to my mind was where the hell this photo was ever taken, which actually makes perfect sense because you can see, right, the main focus of the photograph, right, is actually on the model. I believe, right, I couldn't figure out where this photograph was being taken because the background was intentionally, right, being blurred out so that the model inside, right, becomes more prominent in the photo. Yeah, that's how I feel about this photograph. What about Benny? What do you feel about this photograph?
Okay, I think like you have mentioned, one of the things about photograph, it's a communicative, visual communication. So I'm going to just comment based on what I see as it is. I do agree with Samuel, like how he has struck you and how it has struck me. It came across to me as the choice of colors are very muted, very pastel, speaks a bit about the personality of a person as well. How would I say it? A very ground zero, very gray kind of a feel. But it gives a great sense of realism and gives me a sense of calm. I do like the choice of tones, which is gray, and like what I say, like what Samuel has mentioned, the background has been blurred intentionally, and the subject do pop. So, judging from the photo, I see this as a lifestyle photo. From a commercial perspective or corporate, I don't see anything of that sort, but I see it more of like a very personal, very relatable kind of a photo.
Yeah, actually I agree. The photo, right, it makes her look very, very demure, and it speaks about her personality. I mean, I don't know who this person is, but from the looks of it, I think it kind of bring out her personality and stuff. How come Xing Jie is smiling and laughing over right there? Xing Jie, what do you think about this photograph?
I think Benny highlighted the good parts. Maybe I want to share a bit of the bad parts, perhaps. So, what I dislike about this photo is that, as you can see, the background is intentionally blurred. So, how they did this was they actually keyed out the girl as well as they added a blur to the background. You can tell how it's edited, right? Is if you take a look at her left side of her, just behind her elbow, there's a slight halo to this image. So this tells me that she probably edited in post where she actually put the overall background or herself brighter. So this is actually a post-edited image. Although I do like the face of like how the light falls onto the face as well as the jacket. I disagree with Benny in a way that in terms of commercial wise, this can be actually quite a nice advertorial shot, sorry. But of course, it has a lot of improvements, such as you probably need to add branding to it, or you can even like have less negative space, or that space can be intentionally left for text, for example. So it's still very unfinished in my opinion. But I do see potential that it could be used for something on social media as a campaign, because the game now is actually related. How relatable is your image? So this actually does quite nicely.
I think it's about time. We have come to the end of this episode. Before we move on, end this video. Do any of you have any last words for our audiences? Maybe Xing Jie, do you have any last words for them?
Yes, I do. Please follow me on Instagram. You'll be here. And please like and subscribe as well. Benny's one will be placed at his screen later on. Please give him a follow too. And yeah, probably that's about it.
Benny, what about you? Do you have any last words for your audience?
Well, at this moment, happy shooting. Keep yourself safe. And as usual, the more you take, the more you improve. And I think photography is a lifelong journey. And of course, I'll do the same as well. Those of you who want to follow me, and you may just want to check this out, the link here. Right.
Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. Likewise, I think just now Xing Jie mentioned during this period of time, everyone's very having a hard time, trying to to go out for shoots and stuff. Of course, if you guys have any gigs, you want to look for any shoots, you can look for any one of them. They are always available. Just call them through their social media page. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, do comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also follow all of us, on our social media. And of course, remember what I say, do let us know what you guys want to see in the next episode, and we will try to make it happen. So at the same time, likewise, if you have not registered for our annual montage competition, do sign up now and stand a chance to win, attractive prizes like the Pro Photo B10, Fujifilm X47, and many more. Registrations are now open till the 11th of July, and more details can be found in the description box below. So just go to our description box and also, just go and sign up, And lastly, we would like to thank our partners, our sponsors for making this competition and video possible, especially Srishti Digilife for supporting Montage 2021. So if you guys do not know, Srishti Digilife is a multi-brand and multi-discipline marketing company representing some of the best brands out there in the industry. So, not only are they headquartered in Singapore, they are also having, regional offices in India, Malaysia, Thailand, Sri Lanka. So founded in 2007 by Mr. Vijay, the company sought after many by prominent brands such as the Phase One, Pro Photo, Manfrotto, Yojo, Low Pro, Joby, Eaton, Tender Tools, Lefort, and also even Kodak to represent them in various countries. So with their well-diversified team across the region, they aim to continue improving themselves to better understand the market and also better serve the wider photography community out there in the world. So once again, we'd like to thank all of you for watching this episode, and we hope to see you guys in the next episode. Bye!